welcome to another episode of History Talks. My name is Ellen, and today we're going to talk about history research skills and how we can find ways to further develop those skills and improve them. So the research process is the foundation from which all history projects start. And in order to take part in the historical research process, it's important for students of history to understand the various steps and to apply them in various projects that they undertake. So you'll find that there are a lot of similarities between the historical research process and the scientific research process. Learning the historical thinking and research process can take a while to feel comfortable with. And so today we'll just focus on the first step, and that is finding a good research question. And this can be a little challenging for several reasons. The first reason being that not everyone has the same research interests. So, like with a word search or word scramble, I don't always necessarily focus on the word itself to make it interesting. I usually find enjoyment in the process of searching for the word. So, in a similar way, if you're a student and you're assigned a research topic, you may not find that topic really interesting, but you could find the process more interesting for you by the way you approach it. So that's the other thing I want you to keep in mind, is that not every research topic is going to be your favorite, but the process itself you can really learn to enjoy through practice and through using various methods and using technology to enhance the experience for you. So for developing research questions, you can use a variety of tactics. You can research scholarly journals in your field and read up about the topic and read about the topic in various places. Some of the places I like to research ideas include secondary sources. We're very focused on primary sources as history educators and researchers and people studying history. However, secondary sources are great ways to figure out what the field has written about already and to help you find holes to fill in the field, certain questions that haven't been answered yet or addressed a lot. You don't necessarily have to come up with a completely new idea or new concept. It's just a way to contribute or add to the subject or the field or the topic. So that's a great way to get started by looking at those secondary sources. Some ways you can find secondary sources if you are having trouble finding resources on your topic. Definitely talk to your school librarian, but another great location you can check and another great resource you can check is your local public library. A lot of public libraries also have agreements with other libraries in their areas and with university libraries. So you not only have access to their reference collections, but also to other partner libraries that they have agreements with. So through programs like Interlibrary Loan and Mobius, you can access a large collection of resources that will really expand what you have available to you. Another great way you can research topics and find ideas for good research questions is to consider what it is you are personally wanting to know about a topic. So take, for example, the research topic of aviation. What exactly are you interested in? What perspective, what side are you wanting to learn more about? And then go further in depth with that topic to find out what specific things you can expand on. So, for example, if you want to do a research topic on women in aviation, it's a great overarching topic and theme, but it's not a research question. It'll get you started with coming up with ideas that you can pursue, but that's just the starting point. After you have your overall theme and topic, you can then go and figure out what specific questions you want to address. So some of the questions people like investigating are various effects or consequences that an event had on a certain person or group of people. So again, with the topic of women in aviation, I could research a question like, how did World War II have an impact on women getting involved in aviation? So looking at different ways they were involved in training and missions and developing their own groups and squadrons and getting more involved in World War II, and what opportunities arose for them due to the war. And so that's a way you can kind of start framing your questions, starting with your topic or theme. So the next part of that is to see what information is already out there. So one of the most trying or one of the biggest challenges that you'll find as a researcher is that when you find a great question, sometimes there aren't a lot of resources available to help you research that. So that's another thing to keep in mind when you're researching something, is to think about and consider what kinds of records and resources are available for studying that topic. It's not to dissuade you from pursuing that topic if it's something that's really interesting to you, but it is going to be more challenging if it's hard to find a lot of resources on that topic, or resources or records that can help you answer your questions. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And so another step in researching and coming up with research questions is to consider the quantity of resources there are available for you. So I mentioned earlier consulting your librarians both at your school and in your area for both public and academic libraries, but you also want to consider the wealth of information that's now online and in digital format. So all of the academic journals that are now online are great resources for you, as they publish journals sometimes on a monthly basis. You'll find various resources there that can really help you streamline your questions and get you going to figure out what's available for you online as well. So those databases that are available through university libraries are great. JSTOR, again, is a great resource to get you started figuring out what's available, particularly for history research topics, and also to help you figure out what is current and what hasn't been written about in a while. Another key phrase you've heard me mention in the last episode was historiography. And historiography will really help you also assess what types of questions you could address for your topic. So these are just a few ideas to get you started with developing good research questions. If you have any specific topics you're working on right now, I'd love to hear about them. And if you liked this video, please subscribe and turn on your notifications so you can see all the new videos as soon as they're published. Thanks for watching. Bye.